This is a trash can. And we're very wonderful. So good evening, and thank you so much for being here. It feels so good to be among friends and fellow Americans. For those of you who know the question now, so fellow Americans, I am here. You know, I have to start out with a big thank you to Rodrigo and the folks here at Luna's DC. Thank you. This is incredible. A thank you to Zachary Parker, this one and the one running for Ward 5, for your guidance since day one on the ins and outs of DC politics. The Forward Party, for your faith in me, DC College Dems. Graham McLaughlin, who is here this evening, and thank you so much for the introduction, and running for DC Council at Large, and who I look forward to working with. My fellow ANC candidates, I see you all there, I really appreciate you coming out. My incredible wife, Gabby. Thank you for being here and for being my social media person today. And well, we're here. In the last few years, our nation has faced tremendous challenges, from a surging cost of living to rising violent crime rates, to our climate on the brink. And for many Americans, these challenges have amounted to a call to action. And so, like many others, I thought deeply about what I could do to make a difference. What I could do to make myself useful. And it was in that spirit, with your help, that earlier this year, we launched our campaign for local office here in our nation's capital, to represent Union Market and the Gallaudet University. We began at my kitchen table with my wonderful wife, my campaign manager Alfredo, and my media man Henry, who both couldn't be here this evening, unfortunately, where hardly anyone in the community knew my name, or more importantly, even fewer could pronounce it. We were running on a platform of large ideas as a young first-generation American, a Gen Zer who was not born here in DC, without any idea where it would take us. And then this improbable hope became an undeniable reality. When walking the streets and conversing with neighbors, the support was overwhelming, and the thirst for new ideas, passion, and youth in politics was clear. We raised hundreds of dollars in just a few weeks, fought off a xenophobic attack on our campaign, forged unlikely relationships, and started unpopular yet important conversations that would not have taken place without us. And that is thanks to you. Thanks to the power of this campaign, the vision in your hands, and it proves that Washingtonians are hungry for a new kind of politics rooted in values that we share, not ideas that tear us apart. Across the district, and in fact, the nation, we saw that Americans are ready to meet a new age of challenge with a new generation of leadership. We found countless neighbors ready to support a Gen Z, first-generation American who works 2 jobs, not in spite of those experiences, but because of them, eager to get our government working to represent our best interests, and doing that now. In a critically divided nation, we see Americans coming together to support what is good, regardless of their political affiliation, wealth, or education. We got into this race for a reason. We got into this race to advocate for those being ignored, start challenging conversations, end gun violence, and yes, usher in a new kind of politics, a new generation of thinking. Since the very first day, we were committed to running a campaign based on hope, truth, dedication, passion, and service, and I am so proud of what we've accomplished so far. And in these findings, we must recognize what steps we can take to best represent our big ideas, goals, and commitment to ushering a new generation of leadership. Leaders who are committed to service before self, passionate advocacy, and unification. This is why tonight I am making the decision to suspend my campaign for ANC Commissioner. This means I will no longer be seeking your vote on the November 8, 2022 ballot. Now, whilst I'm removing my name from the ballot, I am not done working to make change. And this is a move towards that. With every passing day, I am more and more convinced that the only way we can restore faith in our democracy is through a new age of politics. We need leaders who seek to unify a divided nation and resolve issues that impact us all, not working for a party or a billionaire, but for you and me. We need an approach strong enough to not only unify America, but end the broken game of politics as we know it. It's clear that despite what incumbent politicians might say, this catalyst won't take place if we just stand by waiting for change. Believe me, Gen Z knows this firsthand. This is where I believe our path forward lies. Generation Z is a big part of the change that America desperately needs. Now, this is why I'm incredibly excited to announce that in the coming weeks, we are founding a first-of-its-kind, nonpartisan organization which will be dedicated to recruiting, training, and activating Gen Z policymakers up and down the ballot, as well as forging productive partnerships on issues impacting the youngest generations of Americans. Whilst there are many organizations dedicated to supporting youth involvement in politics, Gen Z Action will be the first with the mission of empowering and advocating for Generation Z, the MOVE generation. This new initiative will be formally rolled out in the coming weeks, as I mentioned, and I'm so excited to be formally sharing it with you at an upcoming press conference, which is yet to be announced. Surprise, surprise. We want to ensure that Gen Z Action is built up in the right way, and we need your help to make it happen. Politics is about people, and I have to thank the fellow ANC candidates for choosing to run, despite the hard work, low pay, right? That they deserve. And long hours. Elijah Manley, for your inspiration, I know you're watching. No matter the obstacles that you faced, my former Civil Air Patrol encampment commander turned Congressman-elect, I think we can all say it, Max Frost, for having the faith in me to be your first sergeant back in the day, and for inspiring so many, including myself, with your incredible campaign in my home state of Florida. For my community, the dozens of donors across the nation, I was shocked, I had no idea that people wanted to give me money, but I really appreciate that. My former boss, Congresswoman Sheila Sherples McCormick, for showing me what a strong, passionate campaign looks like. My friend and former Florida State Senator Kevin J. Rader, for your money, as well as for your support. And of course, my mom and dad for keeping me honest, true to myself, and for your endless love and support. You are my everything. I also have to thank my grandmother, Christelle, who left us a few years ago, but who taught me what hard work looks like, the importance of faith, and true love. I miss you every single day, and I hope to keep making you proud. And to the woman who took a chance on a guy and never looked back since, I really can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. My faith teaches that the world is not divided into good people and bad people, and that all of us are capable of good and bad things. Today more than ever, politics matter, because leaders can draw us to our best or our worst self. Politics at its worst can be devastating, but at its best, it can lift us up. Policymaking is not just putting pen to paper. It's moral, soul-crafting, and opportunity building. And it's very powerful. It makes me think about the moral giants in American history and how they guided their generation into a time of change. It made me wonder how the 2000s will be remembered. And I truly believe that in the coming years, we can make America, the nation looked upon by all others, as the safest, most equitable, most opportunistic, and fairest the world has ever known. I have faith that in America, everyone will have the same access to quality education, no matter their zip code, state, or background. I have faith that all Americans will have equitable access to quality, rapid, and affordable health care, no matter their insurance plan. And I have faith that America will be given the same shot at a good life, where working one job is enough to thrive. What if we were the ones that saved thousands of lives a year by regulating the access to weapons of war to ensure that not one life is lost at the hands of a gun-wielding maniac? What if we were the ones to finally confront the climate crisis and ensure that our children can enjoy a clean, healthy, and thriving planet? And what if we were the ones that ensured that all Americans have the chance to thrive, not just barely survive? The chance to do that is in our hands. That is the hope we hold on to, and that is the future we believe in. A country that empowers all Americans to thrive and where everyone belongs. Thank you for sharing that vision. Thank you for your faith and support. And I leave you with the words of the one and only Harry Styles. Maybe we can find a place to feel good, and we can treat people with kindness. Now, let's get to work together. Thank you.